Hopefully, you're having a great beginning of the week. Today, I want to talk about something that is very important, right? How do you stay positive when you are not successful in marketing to your leads? And this one is a little tricky in a way because it goes into real estate, but also it goes into pre-paving how you approach your real estate strategies. So, with that said, the first thing you have to do is, first of all, take personal responsibility. Okay. Anything you do in the business, it starts with you. How involved you are, how is your mindset, what is your expectation level going into it. So one of the things I always say, for example, to the students is that before you even sit down and make that phone call, you need to really take 5 minutes and say and really work on what you expect out of the phone calls that you're going to make, what you expect out of whatever text you're doing, whatever marketing process you're doing. You have to prepay your expectation and say, okay, it's going to be successful. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have great connections. I'm going to talk to people that want to talk to me. So it really starts up here because there is such a thing as almost telepathy. Okay, almost really transmitting out there your energy on how you feel about something. If you get up in the morning and you're negative and say, oh, it's an ugly day outside, and maybe something happens the first 10 minutes you're up that really upsets you, then all your day it's turned around, right? I mean, I'm sure a lot have happened to you. You get up and maybe you trip on your way to the bathroom or something happens and then you get mad and then one thing spills another, right? So we all had days like that. But to catch ourselves to say, okay, if this happens, I'm going to actually pivot away from that, turn away from that, and I'm going to really go into a positive uh, vibration. It's going to change the whole day. So the same thing when you're doing marketing, if you get up in the morning and you're just dreading the fact that you even have to do any marketing. Oh, I'm just going to call these leads and I'm gonna get still a bunch of no's, and I'm gonna be cussed at, and people are gonna get mad. And why am I even doing this? And you start with this, and then you sit down and start making the calls. Of course, most of them will be bad calls. Of course, you're gonna see the worst in everything you're gonna do throughout the marketing you're doing. So it's really about resetting yourself because the energy that you transmit out there when you pick up the phone. Yes, they're not going to see you. It's not a Zoom or a FaceTime call, but the thing is going to transmit. That's why they always say in sales, when you're going to make a call, just get in the habit of sitting in front of a mirror and see yourself smiling, right, as you make the call, because the energy is going to transmit to the other line. So you are going to almost telepathically transmit to the person on the other end that you are excited, you're expecting to have a great conversations, that you will do well. So that's the first thing. That's why mindset really goes a lot together with the psychology on how you do it, right? There is a great book that I love, and it's called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, that talks about how a lot of time human behavior is really predictable in a way. And if we understand how psychologically we can influence and almost manipulate this, is actually going to be to our benefit and our business benefit. So, pick up that book. It's been around for a long time. It's called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. The writer is Robert Cialdini, Cialdini, I believe. And he talks about a lot of different things about psychology that will help you in marketing as well. So that's the third thing you have to do. So you have to really center yourself, prepare what you're going to do for the day, your expectations, be excited about, find the fun in it, find the positive thing of what to do as far as what you're doing. Don't dread what you're doing. Don't feel like it's a chore. Don't feel like it's something that you really don't want to do, but you have to do. Okay. All these things are going to change how you're going to approach it. That's the one thing. So the mindset. Now, the second thing is your marketing itself. So, what are you going to do? Now, we cover a lot about marketing for leads, acquisitions, and buyers. But the thing is, some strategy might not work in some area and some in other. I love this quote saying that says, you can move, you're not a tree, right? So don't be stuck in doing something that you feel like is not performing. They say that you have the best intentions, you're excited, you get on calls day after day after day, or text or whatever you're doing, and you really seem to hit a wall all the time. Well, then there is a message there. You don't keep doing it. It's just something that you need to change. Maybe your message or how you approach things or the area. There's so many things along. So tweak until you find it, because I can tell you right now, once you find what is actually going to work, it's going to be a gold mine. It's going to be like the gold river that you can drink from it for years to come. When I found those 4 or 5 zip codes that were really giving me the best for my return on my time and money, I actually work on the same zip codes for over 20 years. I didn't even have to look into anything else, because they were enough to give me all the wholesaling deals I could want. It was enough for me to get all my fix and flips deals I could want. Yeah, I did things here and there too outside of those zip codes, but those are 90% of my business to this day. Okay. So once and I'm not going to share which ones they are, but once you find those 4 or 5, trust me, it's not, you don't have to jump from here to there to there. But in the beginning, of course, there was a couple of years of hit and run. Yeah, I did okay here, but then now I was turning around. I wasn't doing okay. Then I had to go there. So you have to find those areas that you are going to hit and run. But the thing is a trial process. And in the beginning, that's why one of the things I always say, and we're going to talk a lot about leads in the groups this week. But the thing is, one of the things I want to say, sample things. Don't go in and spend thousands of dollars in leads, buying leads, thousands of leads, spend all this money. You don't even know how they're going to perform in that particular area. Sample 300 to 500 if you're doing any type of list, maybe 100 if you do driving for dollars. Go for quality instead of quantity. Okay, so that's another thing. Go for quality instead of quantity, and then your confidence is going to be up. You're going to expect, because you have quality leads that you handpicked, basically, that you're going to get best results, which is kind of works together, right? I said that today topic is kind of works together. It's about expectations, but it's also about strategy, working with the right type of leads and raising your expectation. But your expectation also go together with the right marketing, right? So it's kind of a catch-22 here. But that's the thing. Once you know you got good leads, I went and drove around and I hand selected these 100 leads, or I got this list, which is really feel like motivated leads. They're, elderly, they've owned these properties for 10 years plus, and maybe are rental properties, right? So once you feel like, oh yeah, I feel this is a good one, and now you prepare yourself to say, okay, I'm going to sit down, and today I'm going to call everybody and text everybody, do whatever to do, and I'm going to tweak my message, because I kind of foresee what the other person, if I was me on the other line, what I would expect somebody to tell me to actually talk to them. And you do this mental work, right? And then you pick up the phone and start doing it. I assure you, things are going to be completely different. And let me share a short story with you before I wrap up for today. When I started being a real estate agent back in 87, long time ago, and there was this lady in the office. I remember her. Just the name came to me recently. Somebody remind me of her. She was from India, and her name was Abba Dubi. And she barely spoke English, and she was so successful. She was wildly successful. She drove new cars all the time. She loved BMW. She drove new BMWs all the time. She owned this gorgeous home on the cliffs in Hawaii overlooking the ocean. And I was like, what do you do? How do you do this? And she said to me, come here tomorrow morning, sit by me by my desk. So I did. And she sat by her desk. And before she even got on the calls, she was doing kind of almost this ritual, of almost a prayer meditation. And then she would just get on the phone and she would get all the leads from the Haynes directory. is HAINES, and call the leads. And sure enough, and she said, I don't get up from this desk unless I have to go to the bathroom, get something to drink. But I don't get up from this desk until I have 3 listing appointments, right? 3 listing appointments. And she did that. And she would sit, but she had this ritual, this meditation, this prayer that she would do before she picked up the phone. And she was successful. She was so successful. So with that said, I learned from her that it all starts up here before you even approach people out there. And that goes together also with tweaking the right marketing. So you have leads you expect are going to be good leads because you handpick them. It's quality instead of quantity. So hopefully this helped you here. I try to keep the sessions short, but I wanted to give you enough to really start the week right and getting things moving in a different direction that maybe you haven't even thought of yet. Take care and have a great week.